Good morning, everyone. I think you can hear well. It's okay? Good. Okay. So we are so happy to be with you this morning. So today we will do a short talk and meditation with Lama Samten.
Hello.
Lama Samten is a Tibetan monk. He was born in Tibet. He became monk at the Ganden monastery. And after he went to India to pursue his Buddhist philosophy studies in the same monastery, Ganden monastery, who was rebuilt in South India after the Dalai-lama, His Holiness Dalai-lama, went to India, and the Tibetan community was also established there. So Lama Samten came in the West, in Canada and US, first time before more than 20 years ago. And after seeing the great interest of people in the West to learn about meditation, Buddhist philosophy, and finding inner peace through these teachings, he decided to stay a little bit longer. And after people, they asked to some teaching. So after he decided to stay here. So we founded the Paramita Center. And now today we are giving a short meditation and talk. So I'm Jason. I'm also Buddhist monk. I was ordained by His Holiness Dalai-lama in India, and I study with Lama Samten since almost 20 years. So I will assist Lama Samten today when he needs some help for translation, but actually he speaks also English. So
No. Not easy, yes.
So thank you so much, everybody, for coming.
Okay. Hello, everybody. You are welcome. We are so happy. My English not enough, so this your permission. I do something in French language, then we translate, but short. I think it's you are welcome. I'm so happy. Bonjour à tous, bienvenue. Nous sommes très heureux que vous soyez bonne nuit aujourd'hui avec nous, Sainte Paramita, the International. You are welcome.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. We are so happy to see you. Welcome. And today we give a short talk, like welcome at Paramita Center. Today is international conference, I think.
Donc aujourd'hui, j'imagine, il y a beaucoup de gens, c'est un petit peu nerveux, mais je suis très content de vous voir.
Today, you are many people, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm so happy to see you.
Donc aujourd'hui, nous allons parler par méditation, la paix intérieure, parce que en ce moment, il y a difficulté. Donc nous allons parler. Bienvenue.
Yeah, today we will speak about meditation and inner peace, and how meditation can help us in the difficult times. You know, when sometimes we have, now in the world we have difficult situation, but it can happen anytime, also difficult situation. So how can meditation help us in this situation?
Aussi, nous allons information aussi, il y a méditation aussi. Méditation aussi.
Yeah, also with the short teachings, we will try also to do a meditation together, and also some Buddhist traditional chanting.
Ok. Donc, nous allons parler aujourd'hui la philosophie bouddhiste tibétaine que parler.
Yes, today actually what I will share with you is coming only from the Tibetan Buddhist philosophy.
Ne parlez pas religion, ne parlez, c'est une philosophie logique bouddhiste tibétaine.
So we don't give information like from a religious perspective, but really from inside the philosophy, this point of view, like how this philosophy can help us in our lives.
Cette philosophie bouddhiste, c'est une logique, sagesse, chacun libre, chacun choix.
This Buddhist wisdom is really about developing inner wisdom. It's philosophy and logical reasoning it's a personal choice we make ourselves to be interested or not interested.
Cette philosophie, il n'y a pas de frontières. Il n'y a pas de différents orientaux, occidentaux, religions, races, nationalités, sexe, l'âge. Non, c'est tout le monde accès, c'est de connaissances comme psychologie. Bienvenue.
This philosophy is open to everyone who has interest in it. So there's not at least the smallest difference between different skin color, sex, culture, ethnical. So there's absolutely no difference. Everybody who is interested in this philosophy, they're open for everyone, and it's kind of a psychology also.
Cette philosophie très profonde, aussi très basse. Mais c'est résumé trois choses importantes. Une chose importante, objet, il y a objet. Et là, cet objet, c'est le bonheur. Comment trouver être heureux? Objet, le bonheur. Mais c'est de le bonheur. Comment trouver? Il y a deux chemins. Un objet, trois choses plus importantes.
This philosophy is so deep and so vast. There's many subjects, but all they aim for one main goal, that is happiness. We look for happiness, and the way to find happiness is through two different methods or means.
Donc, aujourd'hui, il y a certains sérieux, certains curieux. De toute façon, si vous curieux ou sérieux, de toute façon, nous allons besoin le bonheur et la aide heureuse. Je parle unique le bonheur.
So people interested in Buddhist philosophy, teachings, and meditation, maybe they are only curious, or maybe can be very seriously interested. But anyway, anyhow, for whoever, this today we talk about how to find happiness. So everyone needs this happiness.
Donc, le bonheur, tout le monde besoin, comme animaux aussi besoin le bonheur. De toute façon, ce qui est matérialiste, spirituel, notre objectif, c'est la même chose, le bonheur. Juste manière, action différente, mais objets, nous sommes tous séparés, religions différentes, coutumes différentes, actions différentes. Tout de notre objectif, avoir le bonheur. C'est ça. Je pense que tout le monde est d'accord. Moi, c'est d'accord.
So everyone looks for happiness. You know, like same thing like humans or animals also look for happiness. We're all the same. So if we are human, example, we think happiness can be obtained through material or things outside of us, or we can take happiness can be found inside of us. But anyway, all people look for the same thing, for happiness. So this happiness we all need, we all deserve it also.
Donc, je dis, cette philosophie bouddhiste, je dis, ouvert à tous. Nous sommes tous besoin de cette manière. Donc, vous êtes bienvenus.
So this Buddhist philosophy is open to all because everybody looks for happiness, and this philosophy is only giving tools for happiness. So you're all welcome.
C'est de le bonheur, c'est pas juste dans le futur. Avoir en ce moment, maintenant, aujourd'hui, nous allons besoin, c'est de le bonheur. N'importe quand, n'importe où, nous allons cultiver cette cause de le bonheur. C'est très important. Quand nous avons la bonne chance, bon occasionnel, nous allons cultiver. Pourquoi pas? C'est de le bonheur obtenu. Certainement, c'est ce que nous allons avoir, c'est de reçu, obtenir le bonheur. C'est tout possible.
So happiness is not only for later, it's for now also. So we can right now, ourselves, with our wisdom, we can develop right now causes for happiness. We have all this possibility. We have all the possibility to work for our own happiness.
Donc, de toute façon, nous allons penser le bonheur, c'est moment présent plus important. Le bonheur, c'est maintenant. Pas attendre plus tard. Plus tard, on ne sait pas. Le bonheur, moment présent plus important. Passé, c'est fini. Futur, c'est pas encore. Nous dit la philosophie bouddhiste tibétaine. Toutes les choses, moment présent, c'est important. Passé, fini. Futur, pas encore. Quel reste, c'est moment présent. Si nous allons besoin le bonheur, nous cultiver. Dès que nous sachons, nous cultiver. Donc, qu'est-ce qui est important? Moment présent, c'est très important.
So happiness can be found only in the present moment because past is already gone. We cannot go back. Future has not yet arrived. So everything we say in Buddhist philosophy is happening in the now, in the present moment. So when can we find happiness? It's in the now. So right now we can find this happiness.
Donc, comment trouver en ce moment le bonheur? Quelle méthode? Quel moyen? Il y a deux chemins, la philosophie bouddhiste tibétaine. Quels deux chemins? Compassion et la sagesse. Qu'est-ce qui est important? Cette philosophie, c'est très important, c'est compassion et la sagesse. Compassion, sagesse, que nous arriver la vie bonheur, à être heureuse. Donc, qu'est-ce que nous allons important? Action en ce moment, c'est compassion et la sagesse. C'est ça, comme ça, c'est de philosophie. Un objet, deux chemins. C'est trois choses plus importantes. C'est tout. C'est très simple. Pas difficile, pas compliqué. Très simple. Pourquoi pas? Nous allons courageux. Voilà.
So Buddhist philosophy, we say, we want happiness. So this happiness, how can we find it? Actually, it's all included into two methods to find this happiness. We call this two, compassion and wisdom. So actually, even if there are lots of Buddhist philosophy teachings, all is included into this. One goal to find happiness, and two means, compassion and wisdom. We can. If we try, if we give a try, if we put effort, for sure we can. Everybody can. Why not?
OK. Donc, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Compassion. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? La philosophie bouddhiste. Compassion, ça veut dire action, non-violence. Qu'est-ce qui est important dans la philosophie bouddhiste? Action, non-violence, respect à tous les êtres vivants. Nous allons respect, non-violence. Pourquoi non-violence? Parce que nous sommes tous de vouloir le bonheur, nous sommes tous de ne vous voulez pas souffrance, problème. Donc, pourquoi des fois gens égoïstes, moi, pour avoir le plaisir? Donc, violence pour les autres, dérange, détruit. C'est pas sens. Donc, nous dit, nous devons développer sur la compassion. Compassion que nous aide. Notre protection, c'est compassion. Notre protection, c'est compassion que nous protection. Donc, c'est très important. Nous respect non-violence. Comme ça, nous développer sur la compassion. Voilà.
What is the compassion we talk about in Buddhist philosophy teachings? Actually, compassion is an attitude and action or conduct of non-violence. So why this attitude of non-violence is important for ourselves and others? Because we are all the same in our desire to be happy and to not suffer. So for sure, these actions of violence will create harm. So this way, we all need this happiness and don't want suffering. So we should practice this compassion. This is the most important thing.
OK. Donc, cette compassion, ça veut dire nous parler dans la philosophie bouddhiste, grande compassion. Grande compassion, ça veut dire, tout à l'heure, je dis, pas de frontières. C'est tout être vivance. Ce qui il y a conscience, ça veut dire, nous allons respecter, pas de différentes religions, nationalités, l'âge, sexe, non. Ce qui il y a conscience. J'imagine, il ne voulait pas souffrance. Il cherchait le bonheur. C'est pareil. Parce que nous sommes trop l'ignorer. Nous ne savons pas toujours, moi, voulais plaisir, mais les autres n'ont jamais pensé. C'est notre ignorance. Comme ça, nous devons réfléchir, compassion, avec la compagnie de sagesse importante. Donc maintenant, je vais parler sagesse. Voilà.
So what we try to develop in Buddhist philosophy when we speak about compassion, it is called the great compassion. So great compassion means this compassion will include all sentient beings, because we are all the same in wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. But sometimes, because we have a kind of attitude centered to oneself, we will think, I need happiness, I don't want to suffer, but we forget that others want the same also. So through cultivating an expanded attitude of the same kind of attitude we have for oneself and for our dear ones of compassion and love, we can extend this to all sentient beings, because we are all the same. So to develop this great compassion, we need some kind of reasoning. So this way we need what we call wisdom. So that's what I will talk about now.
OK. Donc, la philosophie bouddhiste tibétaine, oui, compassion est important, oui, important. Mais sans sagesse, presque rien. C'est important, compassion, qualité, avec la sagesse, c'est important. Sagesse que notre compassion, notre action guide, bonne direction. Sagesse que nous guide. Donc, nous avons besoin pour le guider notre compassion. Si nous aimerions action, faire sur la compassion, mais avec la sagesse importante. Si sagesse n'est pas là, des fois, notre compassion, notre amour, notre patience, notre générosité, toutes notre actions vertueuses, c'est important, mais sans sagesse, pas sûr quelle sorte de résultat. Donc, avoir le bon résultat, donc associé, accompagné avec la sagesse plus important.
So why compassion needs wisdom? Because compassion is a positive attitude, but without wisdom, it will be like compassion without a guide. So we need wisdom to know the best way to really practice this compassion, because all the different positive attitudes like compassion, tolerance, humility, generosity, patience, all this, usually we say it's good. But if it's not joined with good reasoning and wisdom, sometimes even these positive attitudes can lead us in a wrong way, in a wrong direction. So wisdom is like the guide who will lead us in the good direction for compassion, bringing positive benefits for ourselves and others.
OK. Donc, sagesse, ça veut dire il y a plusieurs niveaux de différents. Mais juste nous dire, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire sagesse? Ça veut dire comme un peu intelligent. Gens intelligent important. N'importe où, notre projet, notre action, toujours avec la sens, nous comprenons la sagesse, ça veut dire intelligent, important. Exemple, intelligent. Donc, je vais parler.
So wisdom, there's many meaning to the word wisdom, but what we talk about here, wisdom means having a good reasoning, logical reasoning, and good intelligence, understanding, so we can do positive actions the best way.
Donc, la philosophie bouddhiste nous dit sagesse, ça veut dire intelligent. Qu'est-ce que intelligent, ça veut dire? Quelqu'un, violence, la guerre, c'est mauvaise action produite pour la violence nucléaire, la guerre mondiale, comme ça. Est-ce que vous pensez intelligent dans le bouddhisme? Non, pas intelligent. C'est pas intelligent. Parce que nous ne voulons pas souffrance. Toutes sortes d'actions, c'est objet, la guerre, dérange dans le monde, détruire la paix. Ça veut dire, c'est pas dit intelligent. Qu'est-ce que nous allons dire intelligent? Sagesse, ça veut dire, dans la philosophie bouddhiste, intelligent, ça veut dire. Maintenant, je vais expliquer. Okay, that's mieux.
So actually, yeah, wisdom, we say it's a kind of intelligence, but it's a specific kind of intelligence because, like some people will use their human brain, but for doing negative actions, like creating wars and violence and sufferings. So this, in Buddhist philosophy, we cannot call this actually wisdom. It's a wrong kind of intelligence. So that's not this kind of intelligence we talk about.
Okay. Donc, la philosophie bouddhiste, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire intelligent? Ça veut dire intelligent comprend la souffrance et la cause de souffrance nous comprend la souffrance, c'est pas magique, c'est logique. Donc, il y a cause de condition. Si nous, intelligents, comprenons la cause de souffrance, cette souffrance, nous tranquillement, libération, arrêter, ça veut dire, c'est intelligent. Pas juste comme ça. Aussi, en codé, nous sommes tous dévoilés le bonheur. Comprendre le bonheur, mais le bonheur aussi, pas de magie, c'est logique. Logique, ça veut dire il y a cause, condition. Donc, nous intelligents, comprendre le bonheur, il y a cause. Donc, nous allons cultiver cause de le bonheur. Nous allons réduire de cause de souffrance. Nous allons pour augmenter cause de le bonheur. Comment? Réduire, augmenter. Comme ça, ça veut dire, donc, par exemple, sage, donc, intelligent. C'est ça, comme ça, la philosophie bouddhiste tibétaine. Sagesse, ça veut dire comme ça. Pas cheveux blancs, comme ça. Voilà.
So this kind of wisdom, this kind of intelligence we say that is a wisdom in Buddhist philosophy is the logical reasoning that makes you understand what is the suffering and what is creating our own suffering. So what are the causes of suffering? So when we understand clearly what are the real cause of suffering, so we can slowly begin to abandon and to diminish the cause of suffering. So this way we will suffer less. And also this kind of intelligence or wisdom will permit us to understand what is the happiness and are the causes of happiness. Because we say in Buddhist philosophy, nothing exists from its own side in an independent way. Everything is interdependent. So happiness will not happen in a magical way, but it happens through the proper conditions and causes. So if we understand this cause of happiness, we will create ourselves more happiness. We will reduce the suffering. So this is the intelligence we speak about when we say Buddhist wisdom.
Donc, nous allons, qu'est-ce qui est important pour développer sagesse? Donc, si nous avons la sagesse intérieure, donc nous avons aucun problème. Nous dit, il n'y a pas d'existe sans solution problème. Il n'y a pas d'existe pas problème sans solution. Donc, ça dépend, c'est sagesse. Ça dépend de sagesse. Donc, si nous n'aimons pas souffrance, nous allons développer sagesse. Donc, tout est réglé. C'est merveilleux. Sans sagesse, ça veut dire l'ignorer. Donc, nous, on ne sait pas. Donc, souvent, arrivé, problème, régulièrement, problème, ça veut dire nous sommes dans l'ignorance. Donc, c'est important, nous, on va l'esprit sur la sagesse. Voilà.
So if we develop this kind of wisdom, so we say we will not suffer because we will clearly know what are the cause of suffering, so we will not create them. We will clearly know what are the cause of happiness, and we will always cultivate them. So we say in Buddhist philosophy, there's no problem without solution. So because everything is interdependent, we can always solve any problem we can have. So the only thing that prevents us to not be happy is because ignorance. Because we don't know clearly what are the cause of our happiness, so we don't cultivate them, and now we keep our problems. So that's the only reason, is because ignorance is like not seeing clearly, like a veil onto our eyes.
Voilà, donc je vais résumer. Comme ça, sens de la philosophie bouddhiste tibétaine nous dit notre meilleur guide ou ami, c'est nous-mêmes. Notre mauvais guide et notre ennemi est nous-mêmes. Pas d'extérieur. Tout ça dépend soi-même. Comme ça, donc je vous souhaite vous aider à comprendre cette sagesse et la compassion. Je vais arrêter ici.
So, briefly said, this Buddhist philosophy is, we say, our own protector, our own true friend is ourself, our own true enemy is also oneself. So if we want happiness, we have to make it ourselves. It doesn't come from outside.
OK. Maintenant, je vais pedir la paix intérieure, pedir quelques minutes. Dès que chant terminé, nous allons juste petite méditation, c'est très important.
So we just do a short Tibetan chanting about bringing inner peace inside of us. And after that, doing a short meditation together.
Donc, méditation, ça veut dire, aujourd'hui, dans le monde, très populaire. Beaucoup de gens parlaient méditation, exemple, pleine conscience, et la Nord-Amérique, très populaire. Et la méditation de Vipassana, il y a plusieurs sortes de méditation. Mais aujourd'hui, sans de Paramita, nous avons méditation de calme mental.
So meditation is becoming quite more and more popular, more and more interest in the world right now. So there's many also explanation, many also different techniques of meditation. For example, mindfulness, vipassana, etc. But today, what we speak about, what we try to practice is what we call shamatha meditation, what we say in English, calm abiding meditation.
Donc, sans de Paramita, nous avons méditation, c'est calmanda. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire calmanda? Ça veut dire, nous allons essayer notre l'esprit trop agité extérieur, nous allons trop pour comme l'esprit sur le relâchement. Comme ça, pas très bon. Donc, méditation, ça veut dire développer pleine conscience et la vigilance, développer. Donc, pleine conscience, ça veut dire tous les notes agitation, en ce moment, essayez pour la libérer. Parce que agitation, que c'est trop agitation, penser comme ça, que produit émotion. Émotion négative. Émotion qui tranquillement produit de action, mauvaise action. Si nous passons mauvaise action, ça veut dire résultat, il y a souffrance. Donc, nous ne voulons pas souffrance. Donc, quelle méthode meilleure libération souffrance? C'est méditation. Donc, nous allons essayer méditation sur la Kanmanda.
So at Paramita Center, following the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, we mainly teach at the beginning this calm abiding meditation. Because what we call the hindrance in our mind to peace in the mind, mental agitation is overpowering us. The mind is always like following like a monkey. And when we stop, we try to calm our mind, becomes too much lethargy and sleep laxity. So it's not so good. So what we try to do is instead to prevent these problems, to cultivate mindfulness and vigilance. So through doing this, we will be able to reduce the power of mental agitation, this kind of monkey mind. And because, why we need to do that? Because this mental agitation is the creator of the kind of thoughts that brings us lots of emotions. So these emotions, like we call sometimes like kind of afflicted emotions, after that, when we have too much emotions, we have no choice to put into action, movement with our speech, our body. So after that, sometimes we do negative actions for ourselves and others because of these emotions. So when we go at the root and prevent and reduce the power of agitation, we will reduce all the sufferings we have in our life, because this is a cause-effect process. Agitation creates thoughts, creates emotions, creates actions, and creates suffering. So we want to stop suffering, we have to go more to the root.
OK. Aussi, en ce moment, à cause du coronavirus, nous sommes beaucoup inquiets, beaucoup pensés, anxieuses, angoisses. En ce moment, c'est pas facile la vie. Comprends? Donc, en ce moment, qu'est-ce que nous trouvons cette solution? C'est méditation. Vous avez essayé méditation sur le calme mandat, OK? Moins anxieuse, angoisse, moins réduit pour augmenter plus d'énergie positive. Comme ça, je pense, c'est très important, méditation sur la paix intérieure. Donc, maintenant, nous allons faire, je vais méditation et la méditation tout de suite. Voilà. Merci, nous allons faire.
So meditation can be so much helpful in difficult times. So right now we have this common situation that many of us will experiment as difficulty, like this coronavirus. So some people will experiment like anguish or anxiety or fear or stress or whatever. So for sure, when we experiment these difficulties, so meditation, trying to work with our mind to find inner peace, for sure will be so much beneficial if we give a try. So now we will try together.
Okay. So now we just 2 minutes chanting Tibetan, 5 minutes to meditation, you know. We will do now. Thank you so much. You are welcome. Samten de Bejawa Shakya Dubala Jase Lo Jodo Jasoje Diba Jiyam Mejaje Gawa Buzo Zobane Range Sene Yonzo Dene Sanje Temba Sanje Judan Doje Jodan Sanjo Bradu Dale Yazoje Age Jinzo Gebe Zonanje Olam Benjire Sanje Rubai. Thank you so much. Okay, okay. En ce moment, qu'est-ce que notre situation de diviser la vie dans le monde à cause du coronavirus? Donc, comment trouver la paix intérieure par méditation? C'est le sujet nous un petit peu parler.
So, example, now we have this common difficult situation happening in the world because of the crisis like the coronavirus. So, how meditation can be helpful to us in these times?
Donc, c'est le sujet, c'est très important. Je pense que je vais parler langue tibétaine. C'est plus clair, je pense. Ouais, un petit peu. C'est bon, vous avez des expériences.
So this subject is very important. So I will just use my Tibetan language to speak about that so you can better understand, maybe.
Maybe it's much better in French or Tibetan, you show it. English is impossible. Okay. coronavirus 디 강에 채워대네 다 디게네 심나 시디토백 탑라 곰 두두시아 인스.
So we just explain how in these times of coronavirus, how meditation can assist us to find peace inside of us.
곰 신인데 심주 곰바직라 곰라고 해요.
Actually, the word for meditation in Tibetan, gom, actually means habituating your mind.
Tela 상곰다 녜곰 니어레스 녜발라 곰니지다 상해처럼 곰더니 니어레스.
So habituation can be from two sides, you know, can be a good habituation or a negative habituation.
단다 가족의 낭전에 곰세야데 상곰시야기어레스 상고처럼 곰야데 시야기어레스.
So in Buddhist philosophy, any kind of habituation which we should develop is positive habituation. That's what we call meditation.
디 상고처럼 곰야데 가르세네 나란저 둥에 메도와 인자 둥행기 유라 용의 용세 둥의 용세 유데라 가두이나 쳔바다 시신기 딱제세네 코마 뇽르 따야다 데라 뇽르 따야다 간저 대화 두고 요바 인자 대화기 유라 쳔바다 시신기 베 투따두 콜야 숭네 오 덴데데게네 다 데베 유라 로 콤버 시바 쩨라
So the main tool we use for meditation, habituating our mind to find peace inside, is the mindfulness and vigilance. So what we try to do is all the time trying to have habituation with mindfulness and vigilance to be aware in our mind what are the cause of suffering, because we don't want suffering. So to be able with mindfulness and vigilance to reduce the cause of suffering into our own mind, and in the same time to be aware and to develop the power of cause of happiness, because we want happiness. So this power of mindfulness and vigilance will assist us for finding happiness and reducing suffering.
안에 고반에 연결해서 남도다 고바 슈차베 왕게 뉴문베 샤와도 론에 네 동에서 연결해 대중한도 그 곰샤데 텐데게 뉴문바 짜게 유 고바다 숑와데서 마 뉴르 따야다 텐데게 대화 톱제게 유게 짜와데 템바데 시신레스 템바 시신데 야 망르 땅야라고 제 텐데저로 콤바치라고 해로다 개베쇼로 야 콤바 슈크차와체 미게베쇼도 마 뇽르 땅야라 콤네 텐데지 야와 제토고지 레스 텐데로스고 레스 콤지야데.
So the meditation means here you will be able to reduce the cause of suffering that is coming from actually our mental agitation and itself creating many conceptual thoughts. So being aware with mindfulness and vigilance to reduce the power of agitation and conceptual thoughts. So this way, you increase the power of mindfulness and vigilance, and you decrease the power of mental agitation and also what we call mental laxity, also that creates this problem. So that's the main thing about meditation and calming the mind to find inner peace.
텐데게 대외주 개와라 콤바치베 쭈데 템바데 시신 인두발라 템바데 시신 냠레 치발라 캉바 동바징냐 주네 맥좀제 대고 말했어. 추도니슈 짭시라 텐데게 템바데 시신게 냠레 치야 요아레스.
So to develop this positive habituation with mindfulness and vigilance, you don't need to be in a special place, like a secluded place, like in an empty room where you live alone and you don't meet anyone and you have closed your eyes. It doesn't mean always like, it doesn't mean like that. It means you can cultivate that 24 hours a day in every kind of situation you experiment.
초란전 레군나나 레가치베 까블이나레 텐데게 참장도베 까블이나레 칼라 소베 까블이나레 칼라 사베 까블이나레 누제 뚜베 까블이나레 니녜베 까블이나레 칸다르 두따도 추주 니슈 잡시 나로라 템바단 시신게 숭에 차와직 지게이네 안에 동행게 주 미게베 촐란 로기요 마레 데베 주 게베 촐란 로기요레스.
You can practice that in any kind of situation or activity. For example, while you work, or for example, while you go to take a walk, or for example, while you eat, while you cook, while you clean the dishes, while you sleep, whatever situation, you can practice that because you can always practice this habituation in your mind to be mindful and to cultivate more and more positive habit. This is possible in any situation.
대인도발라 텐데게 ngaranzo게 템바데 시신라 텐데 가제 로 콤바이나 디지게 아니 심나로라 텐데게 나짐베 라 진진데 뇽르로 그래.
So if we can develop this positive habit with mindfulness and vigilance, also will reduce the power of too much ego and ignorance in our mind.
라 진진 가제게 뇽르 침비나 디지게 나 심라 시드 용투 그래스.
So at the same level that we can reduce the power of the ego, also the same level you will experiment increasing peace.
텐데게 나심라 시데 가제게 망아 중이나 라니라 징난다 짱난다 맘라드 장말로 아니 마시바 차는 그래스. 아니 심 로보 차는 그래스.
So at the same level that you increase your mental and inner peace, at the same level, it will reduce your fear, anxiety, stress, etc. And you feel more and more comfortable.
텐다웨 징난다 텐다 네갑라 징난다 짱나 맘라 용세게 따와데 란진진의 투그래.
Because all our fears, anxiety, anguish, all this comes at the root from our ego.
오야 란진진게 따와데 단지 마리블 투그래.
And the root of this ego is in our mind, this ignorance, grasping to a self.
딱 간다르 안에 다 진지 단지 마리바 매버 좀 마투베이네 가두이네 ngaranzo 끼지그 말했다. 기부지 용투그 말했어.
So actually, if we cannot reduce the power of our ego and the root of this ego, the ignorance grasping to a self, it will not be possible to experiment in our mind real peace.
다 간다라 ngaranzo 둥행게 짜와 송년데 단지 마리버레스. 자 테레스. 대치리요 말에 나는 요레스. 되게 다 징난나 맘다 상마 디네 용고요레스. 용세 짜와 텔투도 요레스.
So actually, our own real cause of creator of suffering, and the only real enemy we can have is nothing outside of us, is nobody outside of us, is in our own mind. This is this ignorance, ego, grasping to a self. That is the real enemy and creator of suffering.
텐다베 단지 마르바테 다 디그누기 요바 이나 테 메버 소야게 탑람이 요아레베세네 낭쇼나라 탑람이 요레스 가르레세네 다메도베 셰랍데레스 쇼탐제 다 메버 똑베 무보 네룩 똑베 셰랍데레스 다 간다 도르드네 무보 네룩 또야게 로직 구구레로다.
So if there is inside of us this real cause of suffering, that is the ego grasping to a self, is there in Buddhist philosophy a teaching explaining us how to reduce and overcome this cause of suffering? Yes, there is. What is that? It is the wisdom realizing the non-self or the non-independent existence of this I or ego. Or the realizing the non-independent existence of all phenomena.
텐다베 단지 마릭바 메보 소야게 되게 냠보 다메도베 셰랍데 간데세 냠네 치고레세네 되네 곰자야레로.
So how can we develop this wisdom that will liberate our mind from this ego and grasping to ignorance, grasping to a self? It is through the power of meditation. This meditation is called vipassana, what we translate in English, special insight.
당기 난족이 곰자세야데 친구 융르다야게 심 시바르네베 신의 셰임바세 신의 잠기 팽게요 말에 델레 학바 델레 약바직 학 권행게 남면도베 시라 학동 신이달라 달롭전 치고레스 조 테레스 다 남기 림바데 학동레스 학동나 도나지기로 해 지고레스.
So what we explained a little bit earlier about calm abiding, only this calming of the mind abiding in peace, that is the reduction, the elimination of mental agitation and laxity, only this itself will not be able to do the work. The main thing will be to develop this special insight, or more precisely what we call is superior insight, superior to the one of the calm abiding. So the main purpose in Buddhist philosophy is to develop this wisdom. This is the this analytical meditation is the main tool developed in Buddhist philosophy wisdom.
텐다베 데네 학동게 곰데 자발라 쇼남지 네루 똑발라 디게 탑라 데네 시네 생긴데 어디 시에게 요레스 다 도르드나 낭쇼 냠네 지게이네 아니 곰자야레스 곰달라 니레 요마레스 시네단 학동 니레 요마레스 자성부텐데 요마레스.
So to develop this superior insight, this meditation, we need as a foundation a peaceful mind. So that's why the calm abiding meditation is important at the outset, because through a stable mind, through a peaceful mind, we will be able to develop, secondly, this special insight. So Buddhist philosophy is not complicated. All teachings are included into the practice of these two, calm abiding and special insight.
텐두발라 만족에 남주 셰그레스 ane shuji pungbo jeti shidong sinji shede gres khanda jeti shidong yonanda jeti bumu yonanda khandar dorduna ane shine dan lagnon ni na madubi yo maresta tini ni la nyamne chitumne tagaran digiyores chu ni la nyamne chitumne tagaran digiyoresta.
So Buddhist philosophy, we say there's 84,000 kinds of dharma or teachings. But all these 84,000 categories are all included into these two, practice of calm abiding, special insight. So it's very easy practice of Buddhist meditation.
So thank you so much. This is listen with me in the Paramita Center. We are so happy you are coming here. So my English is not enough. I think we have there few minutes. This, I think, good advice. My friend Jason, his Tibetan monks with me practice. Maybe I gave small chance for him. He gave you some small advice, his experience, Buddhist philosophy. We have few minutes. This I gave to Tim, my friend. Thank you so much. You are listening. Thank you so much. You are Anitim. Welcome our Center Paramita. We love you. We love you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So actually, Lama Samten made like a how do you say, like a brief, like all the teachings of the Buddha included. So just very briefly said. So what can I add? Like example, maybe some of you, I know you already followed example calm abiding meditation course. So you know these things, but just to remember some few important points, because as Lama Samten said, like in difficult times, like usually everybody in our life, we have some difficult times, sometimes happen like sickness or people like separation or whatever things happen in our life. But now we have this kind of special like worldly condition we all experiment together. For sure, some people will find harder times than others, but still we share a common experience. So in these times, we say in Buddhist philosophy, as Lama Samten said, there's not even a single problem without its own solution. And if we look where we can solve the problems, is it outside of us or inside of us? Some people think it's outside of us. For example, if we have a difficult time, we think, example, it's because of my neighbor, I experiment difficult times, so I move house. And after when I move house, I find a neighbor still more difficult than the first one. So I think it's not the way to find real inner peace. I just remember also one of my other teachers, he told me he met a man he had married for 13 times. He said,
married? You're
yeah.
married?
He said he married for 13 times. He said, okay, now it's my last one. Yeah, so this is the problem, you know. We think something from outside will solve our problems. Buddhist philosophy, we say this is different. We say all different solutions, all different problems come from inside. So this way, now when we have difficult times, we understand, now we can find solution inside of us. So at this time, if you can practice meditation, would be so much beneficial. So today we don't have time to go in details, but mostly when you like to do meditation, as Lama Samten said, it's 24 hours a day. But if we want to practice, like short time, best time is in the morning. You sit quietly, comfortably, not too much comfortable, okay? Because maybe you get to sleep like this. So it's better to be comfortable. You sit correctly with straight back. If you cannot sit cross-legged, you just sit on a chair, but back straight. And you gently bend your head and close your eyes, not fully, because fully closed, sometimes we also go to sleep easily. So it's better just to close half the eyes, not to be distracted. And you first try to just, follow the breath, follow the movement of the breath, just gently, slowly. So this will be a good beginning for the practice. So you can do only what you can. Example, if you begin 2 or 5 minutes or 1 minute, no problem. Example, your children also. Sometimes children, parents, they meditate. So children, they like to do as the parents. So this time, you just try with your child, 1 minute, 2 minutes, just to give experience, just teaching them to follow the breath. So it's very good to begin. But if you want more information, for sure, we say in Buddhist philosophy, this is important education. For example, Lama Samten in their monastery, when they become monk, after that, they have every day lots of study, practice, and debate, reasoning about Buddhist philosophy. So they do that for almost 15 to 20 years. So what Lama Samten taught here, people having many questions in the West, asking how to meditate, how to find inner peace, how can I reduce my anxiety, how can I liberate from anger, too much attachment. So he saw that Buddhist wisdom has so many tools for helping us because we are all the same. This wisdom began in India more than 2,500 years, went to Tibet more than 1,000 years before. So this teaching still actual today. They were actual in India, they were actual in Tibet, they are actual now also in the West.
Canada.
So this way, Lama Samten taught like bringing a same kind of education they have in the monastery, but for us Westerners. So he made like kind of program. So if you are interested, you are welcome to look on the website, different activity. Also, you can read some books. Example, His Holiness Dalai-Lama books also have so many informations. So if you're interested, you look on our website, different activities. Also, in the next week, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we have Mandala with the Tibetan monks in Toronto. So we have also different conferences, Buddhist chanting, empowerment, so many things we put all on the website. So you are welcome to look, and we will begin our fall session also in the next days, like next week and after 2 weeks. So I think for today we stop now already 11 o'clock. This afternoon we have another one with French people. French, we said morning English, afternoon French.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay. Open the mic with somebody.